Askreddit asks, what has been ruined because too many people are doing it?
Antibiotics. Edit. Normally I don't support these kind of edits. But I was just given the best comment of the day by Reddit admins. So, happy birthday to my girlfriend.
Yes, everyone thinks they're all fun and games till they get CDIFF or they have something that becomes antibiotic resistant.
This is probably one of the most serious answers.
Too many livestock as well.
Mass tourism. If a place gets too popular and too many tourists go there, then it ends up destroyed. Flower fields trampled, beaches full of garbage, overfishing, etc.
This is becoming a huge issue in Iceland according to my tour guide, in Iceland.
A shortcut through a neighborhood to avoid 3 lights and a railroad crossing. It became so popular that the town installed a series of large speed bumps to discourage drivers from using it.
There's one in my area that instead of speed bumps it has little mini roundabouts. Damn it if that didn't make it even more fun to zip around those bad boys.
Delivering for Uber Eats. Used to make $150 a night on the weekends. Now I'm lucky to hit $60 before I get tired of waiting around for pings and go home. Edit. Thanks random stranger for my first silver. Edit. To my first gold. Thank you.
Honestly, Uber Eats charges too high of a fee. I don't use them or Postmates anymore. I mostly just use DoorDash.
I'd have to be pretty desperate, lazy, or stoned to pay a $5.49 delivery fee, and they have the audacity to call that delivered for less.
Flying. Some people have zero idea how to behave in proximity of others. My university choir is doing a tour in Europe next week. A friend of mine wanted to do a flash mob sort of deal on the plane and have everyone in the choir start singing at one point. I told him it would not go over well at all and that they shouldn't do it. Edit. I'm not actually in the choir. I do band instead, but our music department is very small so there is a lot of overlap. They wanted to do it either after boarding or after landing. But they all agreed that it would be best not to.
Back when Etsy was in its heyday, it was really awesome finding unique artists doing unique things all over the world. I loved that I could find things for any niche interest I could dream of. Would eat up their featured artist videos for inspiration. And felt like I had a real chance at selling the crafts I've loved making for years. Nowadays a lot of it is Chinese resellers and people selling things they've made that you can tell were just like two things they bought and glued together. It was kind of fun at first back when Regretsy was a thing, FJLs unite. But now I feel like I have to be super meticulous when I'm shopping on there to make sure what I'm looking at is indeed either a vintage or handmade item and that it's not something from Alibaba or Wish with a 500% markup. Not to mention trying to stand out among all that crap if you're trying to sell things.
Maya Beach. It was in that 2000 Leo DiCaprio movie where it was depicted as a paradise. Now way too many tourists visit there, beyond the beach's capacity, and it's destroyed almost all of the coral reef and marine life. The government of Thailand had to close the beach down indefinitely last year to let the ecosystem recover.
Agent Smith was right. Human beings are a virus. Askreddit comment compilation YouTube channels. What's funny is there are already about 3 YouTube videos about this post up already.
I've never upvoted a comment faster in my life. These videos always pop up in my recommended even though I click not interested. They're lazy cash grabs.
I hate the robotic voices.
Hit songs always do it for me. The radio doesn't help either. Takes the replay value down even if the song is 10 out of 10.
This is a good one. If I hear "Life is a Highway" one more time I'm gonna rip my ears off of my head.
Airbnb is ruining Hawaii. The wealthy, who are often non-residents, are buying up all the affordable housing. So residents are being forced to move to the mainland. It's ruining a lot of places by decreasing vacancy since you can make more money renting it out a few days than to a consistent tenant.
There was a beautiful pristine waterfall near where I used to camp during the summer. We could go and enjoy hours playing in it in absolute isolation. And we knew enough to be careful not to stress the landscape too much. Now, you can't go there without the hordes of ugly people with their screaming children and barking dogs that monopolize the water, eroding the banks and destroying the surrounding flora. They leave behind their dog shit and litter, including baby diapers and beer cans that are often seen bobbing around in what was once a crystal clear pool. I hate those people. Edit. Just to clarify, my description of these people as ugly is a reference more to their behavior and attitude than their external looks. Second edit. In response to all the people who asked me why I thought this beautiful spot only belonged to me. I didn't. In fact, I knew that other people were enjoying the falls, but they did it with more respect and there were fewer of them. The question was, what has been ruined because too many people are doing it? I answered that question with an anecdote from my own experience.
Theme parks. Even if you pay a buttload for the express passes, you still have to get through the swarms of people to get to the rides. Then all the food vendors are packed. I feel like there could actually be more of them spread out. There is one water park near me. 2 large metropolitan cities within a little over an hour drive. That place is wall-to-wall people every day of the summer. Edit. I've tried replying to everyone. I'm mobile, so now it doesn't bring up new comments. It takes too long to find them. Thanks for the upvotes and combos. One of the more fun threads I've seen in a while. Central Floridian here. I do not understand the people who go to Disney every week. I have a bunch of friends like that. The water park's okay, but the theme parks feel like work.
Tourism to ultra-popular places, especially smaller cities. Dubrovnik immediately comes to mind. The first time I went was pre-Game of Thrones and I thought it was pretty touristy. But sort of in a typical, popular European destination way. I went again a few years later, after it became really popular, with my then boyfriend because we were in the area and he hadn't been, and holy shit. It is the only place I've ever thought was absolutely ruined by the huge amount of tourists. And that was in autumn. I'd hate to see what it's like in the summer. Can confirm. Also, so many of daily cruise ships staying means simply too many people to fit in a relatively small space surrounded by walls people visit. There's been a law made where it limits the amount of cruise ships per day, but with the number of other types of tourists, it's still crowded. Source. Live there.
Instagram, specific types of accounts. As much as I love using it for friends, everything is so overdone to the extreme. Photographers edit their photos to basically look like a place that doesn't actually exist but are dishonest about it. Models all have the same poses, locations, aesthetic themes.
All those people that post as a lifestyle blog, but it's just a bunch of pictures of them on
vacation or advertising some sketchy-looking online shop. People that have thousands of followers and every single one of their posts is a selfie. Sorry if any of these things intrigue you. In my opinion, I just feel like they're so overdone and hard to avoid. Driving. Living in California, the difference even in the last 5 to 7 years is insane.
Used to be one could just get up early and have a peaceful pre-dawn drive to avoid all that. Not anymore.
You mean it shouldn't take me almost 2 hours to drive 45 miles? Question mark. Question mark.
Going to the theater. I'm not going to buy tickets to a show I can't see until 2027.
I am not spending $1.200 to see any Broadway play, and I used to love going to the theater.
Don't you have a more low-key theater scene? In my city there are a ton of plays every week at around a max of $10. The higher-end plays usually go from $50 upwards. Although, to be fair, the budget and glamour of plays in my country doesn't compare to the US.
Driving side, urban roads to get somewhere faster during rush hour in the city. Fuck you Waze. You've ruined our secret pathways we spent years ironing out.
Seriously. Up until Waze and shit got everywhere. I took _pride_ that I know pretty much every secret and shortcut around where I live. Now it's all ruined.
Many forms of passive income like print-on-demand sites.
What is print-on-demand sites?
How did they get ruined?
Flipping houses. I've never been interested in doing it myself. But when just a few people who actually knew how to improve a fixer-upper and resell it after increasing its value were doing it. It was a legitimate service. Now it's just artificially inflating housing prices when investors buy up every open property in an area. Put in trendy, garbage fixtures and cheap paint. And expect unreasonable prices so normal people can't afford homes. It's ruining the housing market in a lot of places.
I'd say the power of motivation and how words used to change directions of someone's life and have a deep impact on them. It has become so cliched through all the FB, IG accounts and hashtags that they have lost that power.
This is my favorite. I think it's been in the making for a long time. Good quotes and phrases were cheapened by every cheesy movie wanting to have some feel-good message at the end. But then that process of cheapening was put into overdrive in the age of social media. Now we're so inundated by quotes and inspirational phrases, both good and bad, they're practically meaningless.
Flying. I should be the only person at the airport. Who the fuck do all these people think they are? Edit. I guess this was pretty relatable. Thank you for the coins and kind words. Closing parenthesis.
Screw you guys. I need to go places. Screw security. I'm suit trustworthy.
Getting a college degree.
Now people are telling me you can't get a good job without a master's degree. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, now it seems like an equivalent to high school diploma in the 90s.
They cost 20x what they used to, but the pay is still the same. Streetwear. All we have now are hypebeasts.
What's streetwear? Old person asking.
It's true. It changed a culture and a fascination to mostly wannabes trying to raise their status in a way that now goes back all the way to the designer. E.g. Yeezys.
Taking pictures or recording a concert. Last weekend was my first ever concert and I was amazed at how many people decided to record the whole concert and watch it through their phone screens. I was there hoping people put down their phones and let me watch the artist. But instead I needed to move my head avoiding all those phones. And I'm sure they'll not watch those recordings.
It's not going to the concert that matters. It's posting shitty videos of it on social media so that everyone else knows you went. Climbing Mount Everest. Way too many people have been dumping their trash there.
Then you'll be happy to know they're currently cleaning up Mount Everest of both its trash and its massive collection of dead bodies.
Don't most of the dead bodies act as guide points? Like green boots.
Historical sites. Several places like Venice, Colosseum, Santorini, Pyramids of Giza. In addition to natural things like coral reefs at Raja Ampat or even just the waters around Antarctica all being overrun. Overpopulated and polluted by the increasing number of people wanting to see the world and nail the perfect Insta posts.
Dude, the Colosseum was literally built for large crowds. It was crowded when I went and it felt more authentic than it would have otherwise. IMO.
Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe to support the channel, and above all, have an excellent day, you amazing people.